to. Oh. And welcome back to the Plot Thickens After Dark. I'm Brittany.
I'm Reva.
And today on episode 2, we're going to talk about 1-star reviews. If you loved it or hate it, we're going to be talking specifically about 3 books that we read in book club. One of them is Just for the Cameras by Megan Quinn. The second one is Big Little Lies by
Liane I can't even get her last name right. Moriarty. It's all the R's.
Oh. And then, of course, finally, Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney.
The liar.
We both have very different opinions on this, but we're going to focus on the 1-star reviews, and you'll also hear our opinions in this as well. We are very drastically different on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But overall, we do have similar-ish taste.
I think there's one book here that we agree on.
Which one is that one?
Big Little Lies.
I don't remember what I gave it, but I think it was higher than you.
Really?
I think I gave like a 3.
I think I gave it like a 2.75 or a 3.
Okay, so then no.
Yeah.
So I guess it was the same. All right, so the first one that we're going to talk about is Just for the Cameras by Megan Quinn. Now, this was one book that was like supposed to be so hyped and like everybody was supposed to be so excited about it. Our readers were talking about it. Where were you at?
I liked it, but I have to say that this was my first Megan Quinn book. And then the girl who recommended it for book club, who's a huge Megan Quinn fan, hated it. So
where does that leave you?
I liked it. I gave it 4 stars, I think, mate. Yeah, something like that.
This was the first Megan Quinn book I also ever read.
Okay.
And I hated it. I think I gave it like a 3 on like being nice. I'm pretty sure I gave it like a 2.5. I hated it. I thought it was way too lengthy. I thought it was way too much Grumpy Sunshine. I think if they like met more in the middle, it'd be fine. But, that's just how it is.
I think it's crazy that you say you hated a book and you're like, I gave it 3 stars.
That's how I hate books. If I give you a 2, we'll talk about this tune in for our next episode. On episode 3, we talk about our rating systems and how vastly different they are.
Because apparently
they are. So one of the 1-star reviews that I found on Goodreads was one person said, absolutely not. The male lead needs therapy, not a girlfriend. I couldn't even finish this. Where are you at on those views?
I don't mind a grumpy man, and I don't mind it being over the top grumpy either. My biggest complaint about the book actually was her humor was so over the top it was unnatural, and the book was just way longer than it needed to be.
I agree with that. I agree. A lot of my personal issues was that Graydon was just rude, mean, and emotionally just harsh, which, I get that grumpy is grumpy, but like, as you said, it was just too over the top. It was like so over dramatized for no reason.
Maybe I'm so emotionally damaged. I'm like, yep, that tracks.
I mean, like, there's a line, like, I've read a lot, like, Grumpy Sunshine is one of my favorite tropes, and this one for me was just, like, not it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is way too much for me. And I like a good, Grumpy Sunshine.
I don't do the typical romances, so Grumpy Sunshine to me is just new.
Which is ironic because I also felt that the romance was just not believable. Like, I get it's fake dating.
Yeah.
Like,
I've read other Megan Quinn books since then, and I feel that way all throughout her books, actually.
That all of her, like, situationships are just exactly that, not actual romance.
It's just, I don't feel like how that connection actually happens. And I think it's because she spends so much time trying to be funny. It doesn't land for me.
That's fair. You just said that the book is super long. I agree. I feel like it was way too long for absolutely no reason. And that is a common thing that is talked about in a lot of the one reviews.
Because why
doesn't it do 600
No.
pages? You could have wrote the same story in 300.
Yep.
That would have been better. Some of the other things that I felt were a little much is that the possessiveness and the jealousy was just like uncontrollable. Like, it was supposed to be framed as romantic, but it was just like way too over the top. Like, nobody in real life, I mean, I guess there are people that are really that jealous, but, like, and I love a dark romance where, like, they're crazy jealous, like, to the point where, like, I murder you, and people, if they look at you, like, that is it for me.
So is it the way that it's framed in this one that
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Because I am definitely a dark romance reader, 100% through and through. According to statistics, most people that did DNF the book only read about 20 to 25% of that. So, with that being said, how do you feel if you only read 25% of the book? Do you feel like it was worth the DNF? At 25%?
I think it depends on why you're reading it.
Okay.
Because to be honest, at 25%, you're getting none of the smut. So if you're reading it for the smut and you DNF at 25%, you probably should have kept going. If you're there for the story, no, go ahead and DNF it.
See, I only read it because it was for book club and I had to know what was happening. Probably wouldn't have finished it. I probably would have DNF'd it had I not had to know what was happening. Although I think it would be interesting if one time I actually do DNF a book and we talk about that. Anyway, I almost DNF'd one of them. But with that being said, your official rating, do you remember what it was for this book? To the other side of you.
I think it was a 4.
Okay. I'm pretty sure my official rating was like a 3 or 2.75. What do you think our book club rated it as mostly, like generally?
I think we probably averaged around 3.5 because it was hit or miss.
Yeah. And I think that was the first time that we have 2 books in every single meeting for our book club. And we read the heavy book with that one too, didn't we?
Yes.
And
And people preferred heavy.
yeah. So that was an interesting take because we were expecting it to be the opposite because usually our rom-com books do a lot better. So let's move on. This one we're going to talk about is The Big Little Lies by
Leanne Moriarty.
Leanne Moriarty. I don't want to pronounce it that way, but that's what we're going with. One of the 1-star reviews that we found said couldn't get into it, got about halfway through, and then just gave up. How do you feel about that?
Oh, 100%. I would have DNF'd it if it was not a book club pick. It was so slow. And I can do slow, but it was painful.
I didn't hate it. I didn't like it, but I didn't like.
I can agree with that. I didn't hate the storyline, but
It definitely felt just like a bunch of high school drama that was that I was just like watching a teenage, like it felt like Degrassi, but with adults.
And funny enough, so it's a TV series.
Yeah, I know. With a lot of famous actresses.
Yeah,
And
the TV series gives that exact same vibe.
No, I've never watched it. I think I'm going to.
I DNF'd that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
You tried?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. It was that bad.
It wasn't terrible, but they changed too much for me.
Oh, that's fair. I don't really remember that much about it. So one of the things we just talked about is like slow pacing, which is a big deal. Even though that book, I don't remember how many pages that book has. That was another one.
Hold on.
It's right there. Yeah. I don't think it was as much as the 600 Megan Quinn.
488.
I don't look like that's too bad though.
It could have been 250.
Why do you feel like it's 250?
Because you had the setup, drama, and the ending.
That's fair. I think like 300 pages of it was just drama that didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
Did you feel like the ending came to a conclusion well? That's a double negative, but we're just gonna go with
I don't remember. Honestly. Like, that's how unimpressed I was with the book.
That's fair. That's fair. We talked about this in our previous episode about the whole multiple POVs and how it personally annoys me. It also seems to be a big overall arching concern with a lot of people too. And I know that that's a lot of reason why it gets negative hate. For me, it was also annoying. Like, especially when they would do like those like small POVs of like the text messages or like that text
party interview.
Yeah. Or like the texting, like all the, I'm like, why?
See, that doesn't bother me. As long as I can clearly tell whose POV I'm in, I'm okay.
See, I don't got time like that. I mean, I love I think my max is like 3, and I don't really think that most stories need 3 POVs. I think that like 2 is good. You need his perspective and her perspective, or however the book is written, but I don't think you need like 17 POVs. I feel like that book had like 17 of them.
Okay. So what I've been reading quite a few literary fictions,
Okay.
and historical fictions have multiple POVs too. So it doesn't always boil down to his and hers.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Is like, but you also don't need like every single person in the story's POV.
Correct. But if it's done well, I think it can make a bigger impact.
Well, do you think it was done well here?
No.
Okay, 'cause I didn't either. I thought it was just over exaggerated to the extent that it did not need to be. Although I think that the exaggeration may have adapted well to screen, I don't think that it adapted well to the story. But that's just me. Some of the other things, just we talking about this too, is like the overhyping of it. It was such a hype because it was gonna be, it like came out, and then I think within like 2 or 3 years it was a series on TV.
And see, I wasn't around for all that hype. When was that?
I don't know. But I think it was like right after it. I can look it up really fast on the interwebs. They debuted on HBO in 2017. And then the book came out in 2014, so it was only 3 years.
I was on my deployment and transitioning out of the military, so I was around for none of that hype.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna we're gonna backtrack, but so it came out in 2017, and then it was in a series, or no, it came out in 2014. Then it was in a series by 2017, which means that it was only 3 years.
Yeah,
That's not a long time.
that's fair.
But you were on your deployment.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I doing in 2014? I don't know, but I wasn't reading that book. Whoa, I just did something to take our notes off. Overall, I felt that this book was marketed to us as a thriller book, and it was not a thriller book. I felt like it was a high school drama wrapped into a quote thriller that was poorly written.
I think they slapped the title thriller on it because it had a twist at the end.
Yeah, but all books shouldn't do that. That's ridiculous. We ain't got time for that. If we did that for every single book, we'd be reading nothing but thrillers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a big thing too. It was marketed as a thriller, and I think we talked about that too in book club. That it was supposed to be a thriller, but then everyone was like, "No, this is awful."
We also talked about the fact that it had domestic violence and that was not put out as a trigger warning.
Yeah, which was surprising because most books nowadays.
Mhm.
But then again, this also was done in 2004.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't so prevalent.
Yeah, which I guess it ends with less of a trigger warning. Let's move on to our third and final book.
We just sidetracked a lot.
Trust me, if you ever watch behind the scenes of other people's podcasts, it's
Is it
exactly
too?
like
Okay.
this. So as we move forward into our final book of this podcast series, this is your favorite one because you don't like her.
It's not that I don't like her.
She just lies to you.
She lies to me. And I don't like that.
See, I'm the total opposite. Let's back up a little bit. So we're actually gonna talk about Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Fee. Reva hates her because
I gave My Husband's Wife 5 stars. And then I realized that she lies in every book.
To be fair, I love the unreliable narrator though, because I feel like it takes me a lot longer to figure out who is actually telling the truth.
Oh yeah.
So it keeps me very intrigued, which is not common because normally by like halfway through books, I'm kind of like, this is boring.
I guess I can see if she like used it intermittently throughout her books, but apparently she's like very well known for unreliable narrator. So I pick up a book and I know I'm going to get lied to. She even has a book that literally called Sometimes I Lie.
She did that on purpose, you know? I like that because it makes me guess. So I'm very much into the unreliable narrator because I try to figure out where the truth is.
Yeah.
And she does it well. I feel like there are some authors out there that don't do it well, and, like, you can just pick up on it right away, but she does it well for me.
Maybe that's what I need to do, is I need to pick up a book that does it poorly so I can appreciate Alice Feeney more.
Exactly. Alright, so, one of the one of the ones in our reviews that I thought was absolutely hilarious was, "Take the scissors, turn this book into paper, and hide it under a rock."
I agree.
That's how you feel?
That was terrible.
I loved it.
I did not.
Thought it was great. I really thought that the whole relationship was obviously doomed from the beginning, although I did not see all of the twists coming, which is always good for me.
I didn't either, but that doesn't like affect because I never do.
Some of the other things that people, and I know that you've mentioned this, was that you were lost. You weren't necessarily lost the whole time, but you felt like you were being lied to the whole time.
Well, yeah, like there was just you could tell that you didn't have all the information, and then when you get to the reveal at the end, it's just like, well, I could have guessed that way the fuck back here, but you went and lied to me about it, or you left something out intentionally so that I couldn't guess it. If you have to lie to me or leave something out just so that I can't guess your ending, I don't feel like it's a good twist.
I can see that. I'm the total opposite though, like because I always try to find the missing pieces and try to figure out like, what is missing.
I'm not I'm reading, not doing a puzzle. I'm not looking. No.
I read, but you gotta remember too, like how fast I read and how much like I don't
Yeah.
know. So it's different, but a lot of people, and we talked about this too in book club. I don't remember exactly. I don't remember how people rated this one. A lot of people rated this one low, didn't they?
I don't think it was low. I mean, maybe it's low for you. I think we fell in between like the 3 and 4.
Okay, no, that's good. That's relatively like average.
Yeah.
Because I think on Goodreads, this one is like an average of like 3.78 or something.
Something like that, yeah.
So we fell into the average. A lot of people that we talked to talked about that the ending felt like a lie. And that, as you were saying, the twist seemed unfair, manipulated, left out information.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of led to those lower reviews where they could have been 5s had she found a way to like not take out that information.
Right.
But a lot of people said too that once again that was a really unnecessarily long middle book. Like the middle of the book was just unnecessarily long.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, some people were saying that too.
The book was so short.
I know.
Well, hold on. What about this is okay? I guess it's maybe not as thin as I remembered it being. 300 pages ish.
I think I read that in one setting.
Or not all you. It's 310 pages. I mean, could she have taken out 50 pages? Maybe, but
Right, but like an average book is like 300 pages.
yeah,
So
we're just at that point we're nitpicking.
yeah, that's true. I guess that's pretty much it. Like the whole 1-star review. I don't feel that this book was necessarily a 1-star. I don't feel like
No.
I think that overall this book could have easily. I think I gave it a high score. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I'm not about to go look on my phone, but it was high.
Mine was relatively low. It was either like a 2.7. I think it was like around the 2.75. It may have been a 3. But again, that's so different for me than it is for you.
Yeah, we definitely read differently. But overall, this book was relatively. I don't think it was worth the 1-star. I think it was definitely one good book that we could do. I do think that Big Little Lies probably was worth.
I don't know that I've ever legitimately given a book 1 star.
I know somebody who said that the book was so awful they couldn't give it a 0-star, but they figured out they could give it a half a star, and that's what they got.
Oh, I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what about the just for the cameras? Do you feel that the 1-star was justified?
No, simply because to me, a 1-star review reflects that like my 6-year-old published a novel. Like it's unreadable.
That's fair.
Typos galore.
Well, usually most of the mass-produced books, like more mass-marketed books, are not usually typoed.
Correct.
Although I do find it fascinating when they have 2 different versions out, and I don't know what it's called. There's like an edited version or something. What's it called?
Abridged.
Yeah. So I listen and read at the same time. So sometimes I'm listening to the abridged version and I'm reading the unabridged version, and it's fascinating.
Hmm,
It's quite interesting because I feel like you get very much different stories sometimes.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a topic for another day, though. So at the end of the day, what do we do? So at the end of the day, these books are, I guess, on average, we said most of them are 3 stars. I don't necessarily think that all of them deserve 1 stars. But what do you guys feel? How do you feel these books landed for you? You can always join us on social media, talk about it. We have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and we also have YouTube. You can always join down in the comments and have a conversation with us about these books. We did read them with our book club in person, and you guys can always come check out our next books. What we're doing, we post about it online. So we're here for you guys, and I hope that you can join us next time here at the Plot Thickens. So I hope that you tune in next time for the Plot Thickens After Dark episode 3, where we're going to be discussing how both of us rate, which, as you can tell so far, is vastly.
I mean, I'm interested to watch the next episode.
I hope to see you there. We'll talk to you guys then, and don't forget to check us on all social medias. All right, bye bye.